Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, back to do another edition of Sci-Fi Sundays. Now, this is a segment where I take a science fiction horror, or a creature feature, because I do consider some of those science fiction films as well, out of my collection that I've either seen or haven't seen, and do a review. Now, today, I watched Alien Battlefield. Now, Alien Battlefield is a 2013 film which runs approximately 88 minutes and also goes by another title called Nomad: The Beginning. Now, this movie is written and directed by Thomas Dixon, and Thomas Dixon was responsible for a movie called The Korean, which, after seeing this movie, not really in a hurry to see it, if that gives you any indication of where this review is going to go. Now, this movie stars Clint Hummel as John. He was in a movie I watched just recently called The Quick and the Undead, which is an Anchor Bay film, and a movie called The Flesh Keeper, which I don't really know much of anything about. It also stars Maria Aceves as Mariana. Now, she was in The Brotherhood 5, which I also have not seen. And Joshua DeRoches, who plays the character Docking. He was in Night of the Living Dead 3D. He actually played Ben, one of the main characters. Now, I do own that film. It comes with glasses. Not exactly a favorite of mine, but I did watch it, and for some reason I don't remember him at all. It's probably not a good sign. And of course, the one character that everybody's probably going to know is Michael Madsen, who plays Wolf. Now, he, of course, was in Kill Bill 1 and 2, Terror Trap, which I actually really liked. Very similar to Vacancy, in my opinion. House, and Hell Ride. Now, that cover looks pretty cool. It really does. Unfortunately, it has little to nothing to do with the actual film, which usually bums me out when I see something like that. This movie actually had a decent premise, which I think was completely ruined by the actual execution itself. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of the premise. It's kind of confusing if you haven't seen it, and it's actually a little bit more confusing even if you do see it, because they don't explain it really well. Now, Mariana is looking for her brother. She gets a mysterious call from an anonymous caller who tells her to meet him at mile 444, I believe, on Route 66. She's supposed to pick up a package and take it to a certain location. She goes there and finds a guy with no shirt on, with writing all over himself. He apparently doesn't know who he is, and it says on his back, "I am the package." So, yeah. She has him get in the car, and you find out that basically that the aliens have always been here. They are picked at random, kind of. They didn't really explain it that well. And there are things in their bodies that are called tracers. And the tracers are led to other people who can look and see through their bodies and kind of guide them. Like I said, it had a fairly interesting premise, but the execution was, it was low budget. They could have dealt with definitely a bigger budget, better acting. Yeah. Now, Michael Madsen plays one of the people who works for the U.S. government, who is actually on the board of the whole alien tracer thing. And he has probably 30 seconds of screen time. And it's actually kind of funny because as I was watching this, part of it is in a limousine and he's talking to the head guy who's supposed to track John down. And it looks like he forgets his lines and has to look down and kind of figure out where he is again. I'm almost sure that's what it was because it was very awkward and very odd, and I definitely got a big chuckle out of this one. Like I said, not exactly the best execution, and I thought this was going to be a cool one. Um, yeah, I'm going to give this one a 5. I was really not impressed with this, and I hate the whole bait and switch with the cover sort of thing. I've never been a big fan of movies that do that. Not seeing the exact same scene on a cover is one thing when a lot of things in the film happen the way the cover suggests. This is nowhere even close. Um, it's just, it's pretty bad. So, it's very boring, it's very drawn out. Not a lot happens, and I get that because they don't have the budget, but at least if you don't have the budget, you could probably do with better acting, to keep the viewer engaged, but not so much. So, that's my job, to watch terrible movies, so you don't have to. I'm not going to recommend this film. It is not exactly a favorite of mine. And I'm very hit and miss, where I can put up with a lot of things for low budget horror. I can definitely put up with, bad acting, low budget, silliness. Sci-fi, I'm a little bit more um, strict with. Maybe it's because horror is my favorite genre of film, but yeah. So a 5, that's my review, and I've already spent too much time on this film. So, if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.